remember. I started earning 12 years back. How can I remember how much I have earned?
ठीक है और क्या बोलूँ कैन यू यूज़ दैट इन द वीडियो क्या क्या उसमें एलिमेंट्स होने चाहिए इंट्रोडक्शन में इट्स रोलिंग ना ओके
Oh, so I am a racer in a doctor's body. I was like, ये क्या है? So when I say that I see myself coming down off a two-door sports car at the age of 45, wearing a LBD, I know exactly how it looks.
No one will be surprised if I said that women are better at managing money.
I'm Devapriya Khanna.
I am Shreya Gupta.
Hi, I'm Dilshad Bilamoria.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chai. I'm 31 years old.
I am the founder and managing partner of an impact-driven business at the intersection of purpose and profit.
I'm into cosmetology, non-surgical.
And I'm the Managing Director and Chief Financial Planner at Dilsa Consultants Private Limited.
It is an old stereotype that women are better at managing money while men can be great at everything else. But to what degree is that true? So what women in their 20s and 30s are doing differently that can put a dent on their financial health?
So typically, women in their 20s and who have just started their career realize that they have, money. And when money comes suddenly or anything comes suddenly, you tend to overuse it and overspend it. Typically, women at this age might, use credit cards extensively or buy the latest gadgets or finish their earnings within like 15 days of receiving their salary and not allowing any potential to save. So ideally, about 33% should go towards savings, 33% towards expenses, and the remaining 33% towards loans, if any.
And when did you start investing? And do you invest?
Great question. So I started earning properly, full-time career. I started earning when I was 24, straight after my MBA, when I landed my first full-time job.
I started working when I was 21 years old, back in 2020.
So I think that moment when I look back and I realized how I felt when I got my first paycheck. And that was really the time when I thought I should start getting responsible about my own finance. So around the age of 24. But I started actively investing and dabbling in investments around 27. Because it took me a little while to be financially stable and to understand personal finance better. I took a cautious approach. I did a lot of learning, tried to figure out what the right investment options were, also got a better view on personal finance, and then started investing.
So mostly my income is divided in 40% of my needs and wants, 20% I send back home, 10% I keep for travel because that's one of the major things that I like to do, and the rest is for my investment, which is like comprises of 30%. And in that 30%, I do not have very strict bifurcation depending on how the market is going and how kind of suggestion I'm getting from my first circle. I try to invest in stocks and then some in SIP.
Yeah, so I think it's typically the Gen Z and above that you're talking about, the newer people, the younger generation. Well, they have very different ideologies when it comes to investing. They look at a much shorter term kind of investment time horizons. They look at goals which are, like experiential and which provide for short-term benefits and more than long-term planning. And when we talk about things like retirement and those sort of things, they don't really find that very enlightening. However, kind of complex the goal of retirement is.
So I left my job this month, and currently I do not have any offer. I do not even plan to at least have any role in the next 1 to 2 months. I have been in a very bad toxic environment that I really wanted to get rid of. So currently I'm not working, I'm taking my time and taking everything slow.
And this brings us to the question that is, how the retirement of women in their 20s and 30s will be different from the women who are currently in their 50s and 60s.
Definitely, the avenues of investing have increased. People are more aware. They are financially literate. They're aware of the different savings options. But at the same time, there are two sides to the coin, because on one side, people don't realize that, they need to do some savings. They're always just kind of living an experiential life. They want to live for today and do nothing for tomorrow. On the other side, there are very, very informed investors who actually do thorough research and want validation or second opinion on their stock picking or mutual funds. And
So my go-to way of making wealth has been mutual funds and SIPs. Now the challenge that lies with SIPs are usually they are in a fixed pattern where you allocate X amount every month. And then it goes on like a cycle. You don't have to put your head into it. The financial advisor determines that where is that X amount of money going to go.
How independent are you at this stage in your life when it comes to making financial decisions?
So I would say that I'm very independent in the sense that after having been earning for so many years, having been in the corporate world for 18 years and then running almost a decade-old business, I have faced a lot of highs and lows as well. Have been earning a salary, have been running my business. So all that experience and expertise has made me quite quite a bit of a risk taker, I would say.
So there's a very common and very often heard saying that don't invest all the eggs in one basket. We have all heard it several times.
Regarding financial independence, it's still work in progress. I'm not 100% on my own. I take a lot of inputs from my first circle. That includes my sister, my cousins, my very closest friends.
So it's very important to figure out what works for you. I played with stocks, I did FDs, I played with buying a lot of free gold, but at least for me what really worked was mutual funds.
Financial wisdom comes both from personal experience as well as from professional advice. So yes, I do have a financial advisor. He's my go-to person. He's been advising various members of the family for a while now. So of course, there's a lot of trust.
So yes, I have stayed stick with one human being for the last 7-8 years, and even that has its added advantages. See, when you are switching people and when you are switching schemes, it is not going to give you return. It is a long-term relationship between you and your financial advisor as well, because he understands your professional nuances, he understands your expenditure desires, and then he makes plan accordingly.
So, is there a difference between men and women in India when it comes to their approach towards investments?
How many women in your family are working?
Okay, so we are first generation women who are employed.
Yeah.
I think there is a very big difference. We belong to traditional society, all of us, yeah. And society has always looked as a man, his primary role being the provider.
Yeah.
And the woman is historically the nurturer.
Yeah.
So when the nurturer decides to also have an option of providing, of course it's disruptive, isn't it?
It's a very valid question, and more than factual and practical, it's very, very emotional. Because funnily enough, we are raised in a culture where however well bred we are, however well educated we are, still a girl has a tiny dream that she'll marry off in a household and a husband will be taking care of her. Mm-hmm. It's cute, it's very fairy tale like, because we were grown to it. That's how the world used to be, because then men were not insecure, because almost 90% of the female were at home. So they were very, very secure that the woman is at home, and they were very, very trained in a manner that they are going to take care of the household.
So we are two sisters. We have no brother, and that was given that obviously we cannot be like relied on our parents forever. So that was one of the time that we realized that obviously after some point we are on our own, and even after some time our parents are also on like that, their responsibility are also on us. So not earning was not a choice for us. And
So I feel that zest for life and that not putting an end date to being productive, financially productive, and that I feel in India we still have miles to go for that. But it's changing.
It's changing.
But it's changing. Yes.
Do you think we can actually, Indian women who are entrepreneurial, Indian entrepreneurial women, they can maybe emulate a little bit of what the European entrepreneurs
Yes.
who are women there.
And they are doing it. They are doing it. I mean, you see women like look at the Nykaa story, for example. Older women are actually ruling the roost everywhere. They've really come into their own, even in India.
So as men are typically the hunters, they're a little more aggressive when it comes to investing, and sometimes they take decisions, very fast or in a rash manner. They are also, susceptible to taking wrong decisions, and taking decisions when it could be rash because you try and flavor the recent kind of best stock in the market or the best mutual fund, looking at the best kind of investment strategies, which without doing research and understanding whether it really suits the requirement of that a person is met. From my experience, what I've seen is that women actually are much more conservative. They are much more rational. They by default they look at risk mitigation as a concept, and they are clear that their lives are going to have a lot of career breaks, or even if they're not working, they are always on the thing of protection and protecting their monies to ensure that it lasts longer, sustainable. They are okay to forego returns which are high at the cost of a preservation of wealth, compared to men who are looking at sometimes very high levels of growth in different asset classes like cryptos, etc. So I think they're always looking for something which is which may or may not really always give them good returns. It's just that they're feeling that that's the flavor of the market, or it's more like someone else has done it and I need to do it. Or sometimes it's a confirmation bias, saying that I have taken this decision by investing in this stock or mutual fund, and it may or may not be right. But since I have taken the decision, I think it is right, and therefore I should go ahead with it.
Professionals, CXOs, thought leaders who are looking to build their brands, we walk them through the entire strategy. And everything that we've learned in consumer branding during my 18 years, I've worked with Nestle. I'll tell you, I've launched brands like Nestea, Kit Kat. Yeah.
Launched as in?
Launched.
I mean, in India?
In India.
Wow.
It's I'm a big time brand marketing person.
So why do you stay behind the scenes always? Like, why do you just say behind the lens? Why, like, that's interesting.
How do I say? I don't like what? No, so 18 years. So I'll tell you some of the brands. So I was with Nestle for 5 years. I launched these brands, and I moved on to consumer finance.
Yeah.
Launched SBI card, the credit card.
Yeah.
So I launched that.
Wow.
My last full-time
So you've
role-
basically been behind every cool thing that has been launched in
I'll tell
India,
you what the
isn't it?
coolest thing was.
Yeah.
I launched Carlsberg. So I was the marketing director for Carlsberg. Wow. So Tuborg, the open for fun that youngsters drink that a lot.
Please tell me they got you a free stash of it.
Yeah, lots of got into my house and there was only Carlsberg and Tuborg beer because
No, but like honestly, all these like how long back was it?
this was around I think 2013, 2014.
2014.
Yes.
Like since then, do you really think Carlsberg is the best beer out there?
No, honestly, I don't drink.
Do you mentor a lot of women? in
Yeah,
the field?
yeah, I do that a lot. In fact, I'm associated with Talentnomics, Vedika, many of these, CII.
What is
I
like?
mentor.
What is the go-to thing that you tell women when you meet them? Like when you are mentoring them, like there is one professional advice, and there's one more like on the lines of a personal advice. So what do you tell them? Like after all the office
After all that
shosha
office,
dies
huh?
down, what do you tell them? Okay,
What
this
you
is
asked me right there in the
Yeah,
room,
it's-
financial
then
independence.
it's-
It is so important. I tell my daughters, I tell my mentees, it's non-negotiable. I mean, and it's not that I say this to the women only. I say it to men also, for the women in their lives, that you have to accept the fact that things are different now, and you have to support the woman in your life. I think it's because I'm not dependent, again coming
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to that, I'm not really dependent on anybody for
No, that's
my
great.
day-to-day
That-
decisions.
That freedom must be intoxicating.
But I've earned it. It wasn't handed to me.
Before Corona in 2018, I am very fond of food and cooking. So firstly, I invested, like, see, from my savings, I opened one cloud kitchen in Gurgaon
I see.
in Sector 72.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after 2 years, I opened one in Noida in Sector 76. That's a cafe, not cloud kitchen. I opened it.
If I put you behind a podium, जिसके पीछे you have a mic and you have the power to broadcast one message to every woman who is younger than you, what will that message be?
The first thing is the financial learning should be starting really early on. I really wish it was a part of the school curriculum.
Just to be independent.
So my absolute goal right from the beginning till now is financial security, long-term financial stability and independence.
The second thing is I started investing with a financial advisor almost when I was 32, 33 or 34, I guess so. That was late. In today's time, the moment you start making money, you should be aware of how and where to invest it. And trust me, it's always a great idea to have a financial advisor.
And so the metrics may change, the numbers may change as one evolves in life, as one's financial ability grows, I would say. But the objective has remained the same right from day one till now. And this is what I even tell my daughters, I even tell the future leaders, women leaders that I mentor, that financial independence is non-negotiable for a woman.
To make their own decision.
So from where I come from, it's a small town. So obviously when we spoke about that I want to move out to a very big city like New Delhi, it was a shock for them, and there I kind of noticed the difference that okay, when a boy or when a man raises this kind of desire to go out, study, work, they are not raised with this kind of questions that why, what is the need. But I felt the difference in my hometown. But when I moved to a larger city, everything was pretty normal. Like women are equally participating, and I was in a girls' college, so it was very empowering. And I think that kind of shaped most of my building years, my narrative of women working, women celebrating each other, and women having the power to not only just earn but lead the change.
Glass ceilings are getting shattered, broken rungs are getting fixed, and I think the future generation have a lot to look forward to. And for me personally, I feel like if I've been able to open a door and walk through it, it's my responsibility to hold that door open for the women that follow.
This video was made possible with the help of multiple women who not only responded enthusiastically to our queries, but also shared with us some of their very personal thoughts and experiences. You can read more on such journeys in detail in this month's issue of Outlook Money, and check out our social media handles for more such coverages.